Welcome to the Terrarium, a thriving site full of dinosaurs and pterosaurs in an oxygen-regulated dome. Now, this is a new project I've been working on, and it's much more realistic than Jurassic Park, as these animals are all in a dome with regulated oxygen levels. And we have multiple predators in here, so this is kind of a slice of what an ecosystem would have been like. We have Suchomimus, we have Concavenator, Ankylosaurus, we have Iguanodon, Protoceratops, we have Hypsilophodon, Pteranodon, Dimorphodon. Now, many species do need to make hunts, so we have had to replenish populations, but altogether this is a very stable, thriving ecosystem with multiple predatory animals. And the herbivores have been thriving fine. As you can tell, this site is on the coastline of the UK, and is the UK's first Jurassic Park project. Well, yeah. Now we do have to replenish populations sometimes, thanks to breeding difficulties, which essentially means I can't put nests in the aviaries. But today, using this domed ecosystem, we are going to be running an experiment. This experiment is what happens and how would dinosaurs react to an invasive species. Now, you all know what an invasive species is, where an animal that is not part of an ecosystem enters one and disrupts the ecosystem. So we're going to see what happens when that happens with dinosaurs. Now, also, I forgot to mention, we do actually have an albinistic concavenator, or albino concavenator, in here. Here she is. So we'll see if she manages to survive. As you can see, this dome is kind of just a snippet of the environment. Now, it's time to start this experiment and release our invasive species, the Acrocanthosaurus. Here it is, coming in. Now, obviously, invasive species can be natural, but they are often man-made. They're often because of man-made causes. Looks like our concavenators are making a hunt against the Protoceratops. We have a dead Dimorphodon in the background there. And apparently this is just not happening. Now, I'm clearly going to replenish Dimorphodon populations because of overhunting from Pteranodons. They have been numbers have been dropping. We've got a fight between our two natural predators, Suchomimus and Concavenator. Oh, sorry for that. And that is a death for one of our Concavenators. There it is. Just a quick bite and a one-shot. There it goes. And that was not our albino concavenator, and you can see it there, just buried under the water. But yeah, to regulate a stable environment, without nets, you do have to replenish some of the populations eventually, so you've only got one Dimorphodon left, so let's get some more of these in here. There we go. Now let's just check if we still have a stable. Yeah, we do still have a stable population of Pteranodons, which is good. Now let's see what our invasive Acrocanthosaurus is up to. Where is he? Our Iguanodons haven't been hunted much yet, seeing as they are the biggest species here. He does not like some of this though. Now let's introduce our Dimorphodons here. There they are. We've got a few more to replenish these. I mean, these guys are mainly just food for the Pteranodons, but it is good to have some prey animals in any ecosystem. And the Pteranodons are immediately beginning to hunt them. And Iguanodon versus Suchomimus. These two are finally getting into it. It's just Suchomimus is trying to hunt an Iguanodon, which is a big task, considering how big these predators are. And two concavenators fighting each other. Interesting. Obviously, one of them is our albino concavinator. Health. Now, who is on low health is the question. Seems like concavinators have... Oh no, they're still going. This is a big territorial dispute, and they have moved on now. The concavinators are the smallest predators in environments. The Suchomimus were the largest, but since we've introduced the Acrocanthosaurus, they are now obviously not. Our concavinator is healing, our albino concavinator is healing from that territorial dispute. Now, let's see. Concavinator versus Suchomimus again. Unless Concavinator flees, this could spell doom, as we know the Suchomimus can one-shot them. Oh, and it flees. The Concavinator flees from the fight just as the Suchomimus lunges. And what is our Acrocanthosaurus up to? Our Acrocanthosaurus is moving. Pteranodon vs Dimorphodon. And the Pteranodon and Dimorphodon are beginning to fight a lot. Which means Dimorphodon populations are dropping already. Now let's just see how many of these are left. Yep, only... Okay, right. We're going to introduce a lot of Dimorphodons this time, because the Pteranodons keep turning them into a all-you-can-eat buffet. Now we need to quickly do this before they're extinct. It seems they now are officially extinct, but we're going to reintroduce them. They'll be extinct for like 10 seconds. So Acrocanthosaurus is slowly moving. It's moving forwards. And where is it now? It'll need to come to the riverside to drink eventually, which is Suchomimus territory. Let's release these Dimorphodons, and then queue up the other ones for release. This time we're introducing 12 Dimorphodons, which should sustain their population for quite a while. And not Dimorphodon 15. And then we should queue these ones up for release. So now where is our Acrocanthosaurus? If you guys do want to see more kind of dinosaur experiments like this, comment down below what any recommendations you have. And consider subscribing to our channel, you know, it helps out a lot. So we have 9 dead, and that number dropping. Our Acrocanthosaurus hasn't actually made a kill yet though, which is interesting because it is running low on food. It seems to be hiding in the dense forest. And we'll see if it emerges. It's interesting when this invasive species hasn't made any kills yet, as it's willing to feed soon. Let's follow our Ankylosaurus herd. He seems to be doing okay. Now, how low are our Hypsilophodon populations? They're looking okay for now. Here's our Dimorphodons are also looking okay in population-wise for now. Our Suchomimuses, they're looking good. Our Concavinators are slowly dropping a little bit, but not enough to be threatened. And they're fighting one of our Suchomimus is fighting an Ankylosaurus. This is interesting. Going for very big prey. And they decide not to fight. Concavinator versus Suchomimus what again? And there it goes, another Concavinator death. Interesting. Now their populations have been dropping quite a bit, so we may need to introduce some new Concavinators. Let's do that now. Let's just change our albino Concavinator back to what they were before. That looks about right. Yeah, that's right. Now we just need to get some of these. I have mentioned this tip in a past video, but you can actually release them from aviaries. Ankylosaurus and the Suchomimuses. Oh, they're fighting. Oh, and there goes a hit on the Ankylosaurus. Does the Ankylosaurus stand and fight? Let's see. Oh, and it goes again. And the Suchomimus is injuring itself in the process. Seems to be injuring itself. And there goes a tail club. Right to the side. Oh, and the Suchomimus drops dead. That is our first Suchomimus death in this ecosystem. Let's get these guys in. We do need to, since we can't place nests, we do need to sustain populations manually. Arachnophosaurus, though, still hasn't made a kill, and he is hungry. So he probably will. He's probably going to kill eventually. And as you can see, when releasing dinosaurs from the aviary, the animation doesn't line up very well. As you see, our Concavenators just appears down there. Arachnophosaurus, interestingly, has not yet made a kill, which is weird for a species that big, because it could take down nearly everything in this environment. And it is an invasive species. However, it just seems to be standing there, which is slightly strange. Wonder what it's planning. Obviously, not all invasive species thrive in their environment. Some will not be suited to it and die off instantly in the first individual. Some invasive species thrive in a new environment, but some just die off as soon as they're introduced because they're not used to that environment. So it's possibly what will happen here with Arachnophosaurus. Oh, and we have a dead iguanodon killed by Suchomimus. This is the first fight for iguanodons. Concavenators. This is one of our newer Concavenators. Fighting a Suchomimus again. Which is obviously probably not a good idea for them. Because last time this happened, they got absolutely clapped. Okay, it's retreated. How many Dimorphodons? Oh, and our Acrocanthosaurus, our invasive species, is in low health, and it's just... Is it stuck? It's moving now. It's roaming, but it's roaming around in circles. Well, it doesn't seem to be able to make a kill, which is interesting. It seems to be stuck in this forest. I guess that makes sense. It's not suited. Oh, and an albinistic Concavenator is fighting. Let's hope it retreats. And there it goes. There goes the death of our albino Concavenator. Rest in peace. It was always going to end. It was probably always going to end like this. But Arachnophosaurus, it seems to be, seeing as it's not used to this environment, it seems to be stuck in between the trees. Arachnophosaurus was used to wide open floodplains, but this densely packed forest, it's a terrible environment for it. So it seems to have just stopped. Let's just see what's actually happened to it. It seems to just be stuck here, as it's trapped itself in this bamboo forest because it can't really. Because the Acrocanthosaurus is such a big predator, is used to open plains, but here it can't actually. It's trapped itself and it can't escape through this bamboo. See, the Dimorphodon just staring at it because it can't really make a kill. This might spell doom for its invasive species. And as I said, some invasive species don't thrive, others will die off instantly. Now, this was an experiment, so I never knew how this was going to go by introducing Acrocanthosaurus, but it seems like, since the Acrocanthosaurus isn't used to this densely forested environment, it can't really kill and it can't feed, which means it's gonna die out. Only 9% health. And Dimorphodon population is dropping once again. This does seem... And low health for Archaeopterysaurus, this might be the end of it. Because it... Concavator 6 versus Concavator 1 in a territorial dispute. You know, two males fighting. Yeah, let's see this. Seems to just be a territorial dispute, nothing more. Same with this battle of Suchomimuses. It's between a male and a female, interesting. And as you can see, the ecosystem is littered with death. And this Dimorphodon is hungry. And there we go. Our Acanthosaurus has starved to death in its environment because it wasn't suited for it. And this is the point. Invasive species can be a huge problem to nature, but nature will find its own way to fight back, and nature will heal and grow around this new species, eventually returning to what it once was. Take cane toads in Australia. Sure, they've absolutely destroyed the ecosystem, but species like snakes have evolved ways to kill them, eat them, and adapt to set their numbers back. So ecosystems will adapt and thrive, where invasive species can't. Some species like pythons in the Florida Everglades, they will thrive and spread, but other species, the ones you don't really hear of, simply die out because they're not suited for the environment they've been placed in, which means they can't survive, and they will, just like Archaeopterysaurus, starve to death. Even if it's a big apex predator, it will. Let's say, for instance, you dropped a lion into, I don't know, the Amazon rainforest, it would die off because it can't feed. It's trapped, just like Archaeopterysaurus. So that's the moral of the story, that nature will always find a way to fight back. And as much as we think we're destroying the world, we can't. We can't destroy the world. Once we're gone, nature will shake us off like a summer cold. I think that's an Ian Malcolm quote, by the way, guys. Because ecosystems are built to be long-lasting and have populations and survive and thrive. Thrive is a great word. And as well, yes, some individuals will die. Others will survive and evolve and make new species. And will adapt. And this all means that nature is everlasting. Nature will never fully die, you know, even if we cause a nuclear apocalypse. There will still be bacteria and tardigrades that can survive and rebuild a world from its ashes. And like the dinosaurs, a bygone world full of chaos. Well, but no. The dinosaurs lived in a fully fledged ecosystem just like we did. From the Suchomimus to a tiny Hypsilophodon. Their world was just like ours. A thriving ecosystem built on top of predators, prey, producers, consumers. Even if they were different, they were still just like us. So, and the dinosaurs, they were wiped out instantly by an asteroid, and they couldn't. They needed a way to survive. They couldn't. The dinosaurs, they died, but other species, small rodents, snakes, crocodiles, they survived and they overcame, and they built a new world in the dinosaurs' ashes. So the point I'm trying to make here is that nature is everlasting. Nature never dies. Nature overcomes. Nature adapts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and do want to see more. If you want to see more experiments like this, then please consider supporting the channel, and goodbye.